What's great about wrapping is the ability to buy something inexpensively on a low-end scale, and then with a small amount of material transform it into something that looks great, that's much more expensive or custom. And this is a great example of this idea is on outlets for walls, electricity, all that kind of good stuff, is that you can take scrap material, small pieces, and you could wrap them very straightforward. Again, this could be calendar or cast film, and obviously the best way to wrap these is remove them from the wall, clean them, and then you take the scrap material, obviously give yourself extra material top to bottom, left to right, apply it to the flat area first, and then don't even have to use a squeegee here. You can kind of, for the most part, just kind of use your fingers to kind of get it on that main surface area. And again, the outlets come in different shapes and sizes. And then once you get onto the flat area, obviously your main areas to focus on is the corners. So you kind of set the material up, spread the material out on the corner first, and then work the edges. So notice right here what Carlos is doing is kind of picking the material up, working it around, and then picks it up and focuses on the corner. And all you have to do is just kind of lightly stretch it. It's a moderate curve in most cases here on the outlets. But if you don't focus on the corner first and work towards the corner after the flat areas on the sides, you're going to get wrinkles. But again, by pulling it up and kind of lightly stretching it around there, you don't even have to use heat, just kind of light, nice, firm pressure. It rounds those corners super easy, especially if it's clean. And the material going on to these outlets, you can use, as I said, cast or calendar. It doesn't have to have airy grass. And then he clicked his knife, and what he's going to do is he's just going to cut it cold to the edge. What you do not want to do when you're wrapping outlets is wrap behind the edge. This will keep them from laying flush on the wall, but plus it's just overkill. And if you wrap behind it, actually it might have more tension than, might have the opposite effect of what you want. And notice how his free hand kind of keeps the material away so we can get a nice, good, clean cut on the edge. And notice how he focuses on the corners, kind of picks it up, sets up the corner, pinches it around, and then he goes back and cuts. It's all about setup when you're cutting. So he kind of pulls around, gets it nice and firm, and then cuts it cold. So again, don't wrap behind, just cut it straight cold to the edge. But if you get to the edge with no tension, which is very easy on an outlet, then it should be no problem at all. Combination of good tacky film, getting to the corner first, and then cutting nice and clean to the edge. But again, try to work in increments. Just try to, again, focus on the corner, work halfway on the edge, pick it up. So you want even tension the whole time. You want a nice, good, clean, straight line. And the blade should just be running parallel to the edge. Don't have to angle it away or in, just flush straight to the side. And then for this inside portion, again, because the electrical piece is going to go fit in there snug, it doesn't have to wrap in. You can cut it cold to the edge because it's going to stick out slightly from this section. So you don't have to wrap inside, which is great. Because wrapping inside is a little bit of tension, it's a 90-degree angle. Just cut cold flush to the side. And notice what he does is he cuts the top, cuts the side. There's still a little bit of tension there, so he chooses one side here, cuts to the edge. But now that it's loose there, there's no tension. So notice that his free hand pulls on the inside to create tension, nice and clean. And then with it done, you simply just place it back on the wall. That easy. And then screws in. So this is the one that was shown, wrapped. One screw in the middle there. 2 holes, top and bottom. No need to post heat, and you might want to use a little heat on the edge just to kind of seal it down in place, but really no need to. And then this one, you have the flip switch right there in the middle, and you have 2 screws, top and bottom. But notice how the screws go in, nice and clean. So everything was cold cut, but you don't see it. And even if it's like there on when the switch goes up, you can see a little bit of white, but because it's nice and symmetrical and clean cut out, it looks super professional, nice and clean. Again, make sure that it goes in nice and snug. And what's nice about cutting cold cut too is when the screws go in there, it doesn't pull and tear the material. So that's another reason why you want to cold cut it. But again, here this is like a rectangle type shape, same principle. Take your time, screw it in nice and clean. But again, look how quickly you can transform an outlet from a dull white plastic one to something super exciting. So again, for the wrap up, super clean, super clean on the edges, especially in the corners. Focus on those corners first. Get the material to the corners, no wrinkles, life is good. And again, you want to use a super sharp blade, so make sure you click before you cut. Always for bathrooms and kitchens, because there's moisture in those areas, you might want to go back with an edge seal pen and just edge seal the edge of the where you cut on the back side just to be safe, so it stays for the long term. And you can use Castor Calendar film, and I would recommend using film that doesn't have air egress or repositionability, just so it's a little more aggressive on the plastic, because plastic has a low surface energy. Thanks for watching. I'm Justin Pate.